Hello, this is the Costco Wholesale 2017 case study presented by Team B, who is Jay Kappelman, Jordan Leaf, and Sunny Frost. Introduction. When Costco opened in 1983, founders Jim Senegal and Joseph Brotman wanted to provide members with quality goods and services at a low price. To achieve this mission, Costco developed a corporate philosophy that was solely focused on people. It stated 5 simple rules: obey the law, take care of our members, take care of our employees, respect the suppliers. These 5 rules would contribute significantly to their business model, which was to generate high sales volumes and rapid inventory turnover by offering fee-paying members attractively low prices on a limited selection of nationally branded and selected private label products in a wide range of merchandise categories. Costco achieved high sale volumes with a pricing strategy to cap markups of brand name merchandise at 14%, opposed to competitors that were capping at 20 to 25. Even on Costco's private label, Kirkland, markups typically did not exceed 15%. When it comes to merchandise, supermarkets stocked about 40,000 items, and a Walmart Supercenter may have 140,000 items stocked for shoppers. Costco's merchandising strategy was to provide members with a selection of approximately 3,700 active items that could be priced at a bargain level, providing cost savings for members. The product mix would consist of about 80% brand name products and 20% private label, known as Kirkland Signature Brands, which were a growing percentage, over 20%. Membership fees allow Costco to pursue the pricing strategy. They come in 2 forms: business and executive. The average annual income of a member is $125,000 and has an average household of 4 people. Based on the case study, we will continue the analysis and evaluation of the following strategic challenges. Costco's pricing strategy may be an inefficient strategy. This is based on their reliance on annual new memberships and renewal for the attractive limited demographic. Shifting buyer preferences from warehouse to e-commerce will be difficult for the company to overcome. This graph indicates that Costco does not have an effective strategy to persuade millennials to shop in Costco stores. Their merchandising strategy is so unique compared to its competitors. And finally, we will explore any potential shortfalls and opportunities Costco may encounter when entering into foreign markets.
All right. So looking at the Costco business model, it's basically broken up into 2 different sections. First, being that it can achieve high inventory turnover using low prices, limited selection of quality merchandise, and a wide range of merchandise categories. Next, it's able to achieve operating efficiencies by using high volume purchasing, efficient distribution, reduced handling of merchandise, and a no-frills self-service warehouse. Combined, these 2, the high inventory turnover and the operating efficiencies, enable Costco to make a profit, but it is going to be a very low gross margin. So using that, we're going to check out the analyses, and first, we're going to look at the pestle. So, out of the 6 pestles, I picked the 2 that stand out the most to me. First being sociocultural, and these are some opportunities for Costco to improve. First, they need to increase the demand for social responsibility within the business. They can work with animal rights activists. They can work with more green companies. But a trend in the 21st century is seeing that we do have corporate responsibility within our businesses, so that is a huge opportunity for Costco to improve. Next, they're going to have to appeal to millennials, as we are the new buying generation, and as we've seen, Costco doesn't really appeal to the millennials so much. And then we can also appeal to lower income clientele. They are often scared off by Costco's entry fee that is usually $6 to become a member, and that scares off a lot of potential buyers. Next on the pestle is the technological opportunities, and they can do this by increasing e-commerce transactions. That's definitely a trend we're seeing in retailers. Increasing the business automation and rapid rate of technological innovation. these are opportunities for Costco to really get ahead in the e-commerce industry. Next is going to be an analysis of the Porter's 5 forces and the 2 biggest standouts, which are going to be substitutions and competition. These 2 are the strongest threats to Costco and their business model. First, substitutions. Any retail store offering the same product. Variety is the spice of life, and that being so, customers can feel free to go to any other store that offers these products and pick them up at a slightly higher price but lower quantity. So that's a place, where substitutions is a big threat. There's also very low switching costs between shopping at Costco and, say, shopping at a city market. Next is going to be competition, and the biggest competitors for Costco are going to be Walmart, including Sam's Club, Target, BJ's, and Kroger. These guys all offer a plethora of goods at great savings, except they do have lower membership fees, which is a good way to get clientele in the door, and these are going to be the strongest competition threats to Costco. And finally, we're going to check out the SWOT analysis for Costco, and its strengths are going to be the low prices and savings they offer their clientele. They have a strong brand name, which sits very well in the market. Their weaknesses, however, is that they're missing a large demographic of people, including millennials and lower income clientele. And also, they maintain low profit margins year after year. Some opportunities that they can improve on, like I mentioned earlier, is the e-commerce trend and possibly expanding into emerging foreign markets. That could be a great place to gain some revenue for Costco. And finally, the threats are going to be the fierce competition that they face in the retail sector and online retailers. Amazon, Target, and Walmart delivery all kind of leading the way for the e-commerce trend, which Costco has to get involved in.
Okay, Costco's current financial performance measures show that the company is doing well and has had no significant changes in the past few years. Most of its profitability measures show an upward trend. While a current ratio that hovers around 1 or below 1 is not usually desired, Costco's current ratio isn't as concerning because it has a high investment in inventory, which it sells quickly with low profit margins. So having current assets almost equal to current liabilities for the year doesn't raise red flags like it would in other industries. Overall, the company's financial ratios are either improving year over year or holding steady, showing a positive financial outlook for future years. Costco's membership fees accounted for 2.27% of its total revenue in 2018, and that is really consistent with previous years of 2.26% and 2.28%, showing that as net sales revenue increases, revenue from membership fees increases proportionately. Additionally, the amounts of revenue from membership fees and final net income are almost equal each year. This means that all of the sales revenue covers merchandise and other expenses for the year, and what's left over to contribute to net income is the membership fees revenue. Regarding the company's merchandise costs, they have increased almost exactly as much as sales revenue in the past few years. Sales revenue grew 2.1% from 2015 to 2016, while merchandise costs grew 1.8%. Then sales revenue and merchandise costs both increased by 8.7% from 2016 to 2017. And then sales revenue increased 9.7% from 2017 to 2018, while merchandise costs increased 10.1%. These almost even percentage increases in sales revenue and merchandise costs mean that the company is closely watching and managing their margins. Margins that Costco reports are going to be very close to their target margin. And now I will hand you back over to Sunny. Costco's philosophy was to keep customers coming into the shop by wowing them with low prices and thereby generating big sales volumes. Examples of Costco's 2015 sales volumes are as follows. Wheat sales of $6.4 billion, seafood sales of $1.3 billion, and television sales of $1.8 billion. For many years, a key element of Costco's pricing strategy has been to cap its markup on brand names much lower than its competition. Even on their private label, they still barely broke even. Costco's prices were so low that Wall Street analysts have criticized Costco's management for going all out to please customers at the expense of increasing profits for shareholders. To the right, you can see Costco pricing strategy change to remain competitive. Membership fees at Costco Saving Grace generating over $2.6 billion in revenue for the company in 2016. Due to the company's low markups, Costco's prices were just a skim above break-even levels. Without the revenues from membership fees, Costco's net income after taxes would be minimal or non-existent because of its low pricing strategy. People are shopping in stores less and less due to the rise of e-commerce shopping. Costco's significant focus is on the treasure hunt members engage in while shopping in stores. The majority of Costco members are 65 plus, and the 24 to 35-year-old consumers are turning to e-commerce retailers such as Amazon Prime and Box to avoid the high-touch, low-tech experience. Costco has a very limited merchandise selection. Compared to the typical supermarkets, Costco supplies a fraction of brands available. Costco's merchandising strategy is to provide members with a selection of approximately 3,700 active items that could be priced at bargain levels. With a limited selection, customers could turn to e-commerce or other warehouse retailers to find brands that they are familiar with. Entry into foreign markets require attention to the culture and market conditions. When Costco opened its doors in Iceland in 2017, the people of Iceland were wary of the retail elite within the country, providing Costco with a warm greeting. But the lack of recognizing some cross-country differences created friction with local industries. Most of the produce in Costco Iceland had been shipped in from overseas. This made produce prices extremely competitive and difficult for local farmers to compete with. Iceland Air saw a 40% increase in cargo flights based on Costco purchases. People of Iceland were quickly concerned that Costco was not respecting their fragile environment nor local economies that were not part of the retail elite. Within the past 4 years, Costco has realized the growth in its apparel sales as being a strategic success. This amounts to a staggering $7 billion a year in sales at a steady climb of 9% over the past 3 years. This is competitive with rival giants such as Old Navy and Neiman Marcus. Loyalty is everything to Costco, and they have been achieving it with a 90% retention rate of pre-existing members. E-commerce shopping is every brick-and-mortar business's largest competitor. Companies need to diversify the channels they offer merchandise to customers through. Costco has responded well, achieving e-commerce sales growth of over 28% in 2018. Costco's reluctance to enter into the e-commerce segment allowed them the opportunity to exploit weakness among the competition. The addition of 2-day delivery, collaboration with Instacart delivery apps, and click and collect sales are just a few strategies adding to Costco's overall success. To the right, we can see that consumers find 2-day shipping more attractive than any other delivery method. Costco generates high sales volume by turning over inventory at an accelerated rate. So much so that they have a track record of selling the products before paying vendors. The few products that Costco offers are developing brand loyalty and proving to be a competitive advantage for the company. The Costco trade is global. Even the entry into small countries of Iceland has become an overwhelming success, with a third of their country watching for new merchandise via a Facebook page dedicated to the Icelandic Costco. The company has begun a 15-store expansion in France that started in 2018. According to a Forbes report, Costco membership sign-ups in the first 8 to 12 weeks of a new store opening overseas are generally 10 times greater compared to Costco store openings in the U.S. And now on to our conclusion.
After our analysis and evaluation, it's clear that Costco is doing pretty well for itself. The company closely manages its prices and margins so that its members receive the best value, and the company itself is still profitable from their membership fees. Financially, the company seems to be doing pretty well and has nothing to be concerned about in the near future. However, Shifting consumer preferences are something that Costco will want it to be adaptable to. The company seems to have recognized the opportunities we have identified, and they are currently expanding their entries into foreign markets and have expanded their e-commerce so much so that same-day grocery delivery is available in 99% of their U.S. locations, and two-day grocery deliveries are available anywhere in the continental U.S. There may still be some opportunities available to them to take advantage of, specifically trying to widen their member demographics to include more households with lower annual incomes, or expanding their e-commerce segment even more. Based on our conclusions, we would recommend that Costco consider increasing their margins just a little and decrease their membership fee from $60 to $50 to be more competitive with the membership fees of BJ's and Sam's Club. Because there is such a big shift in consumer purchasing preferences towards online and fast deliveries, we would also recommend that Costco look into offering an online-only membership for a lower annual membership fee, like $30, which would allow anyone to be a Costco member even if they have no store nearby, and they would receive great online deals no matter where they live. Expanding their available merchandise to have more variety online could also help them widen their member demographics or compete with Walmart and other large retailers that can offer more variety and choices in their merchandise. It seems like Costco has a good handle on expanding into foreign markets already, but they may want to consider altering their business model in these markets instead of keeping it the same. Some countries might be more resistant to paying membership fees to shop there, while others are fine with it. We would recommend they do a lot of market research in countries they are considering entering so that they are welcomed from the start and appreciated for years afterwards. And that concludes our Costco case study, and the following are our works cited. Thank you.